everyone, welcome to the show. I absolutely enjoy meeting you guys every week with my amazing friends. Jingle today on my sets. Hi Jingle.
Hello Amber, thank you for having me.
And Poonam.
Hello everybody, and I'm again very excited to be on the Amber Dazzle Show. Thanks for having us, Amber.
Thank you Poonam and Jingle for joining us. So Poonam, what's going on with you?
You know, Amber, I have a really amazing topic for us to discuss today, and I'm sure every one of us have encountered this at some junction in our life.
Okay.
How do you deal with absent-mindedness?
Oh, that is a good one, right Jingle?
Oh yes.
You know, it's really funny that you bring this up. A lot of my friends call me Dory.
From Nemo?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and it's really funny that you get so busy and you do forget a lot of things. So how does a person deal with that?
Yeah, because we have a brain that has 100 channels going on, and we all are doing so many things in life. We're wearing so many caps and hats. We're always multitasking.
Oh, yes.
Ask her. I mean, she's a super mom. She's always on the go, always doing so many things, and we want to be perfect at it. So how do you deal with this absent-mindedness or so-called forgetfulness, Jingle?
So a little bit of a less serious note, the things I actually don't want to do, I'll just say I forgot.
You forgot, right?
I've not forgotten it, but I will say I forgot. Especially to irritate the husband, you know, and I love doing that. I feel I get a little bit attention from him.
Please don't get any ideas though from Jingle right
It's
now.
my way of getting his attention that, okay, Jingle forgot, let me get on with her.
It's
so
funny
it's my
how
trick.
we can easily get the license to forget, but if they forget something, no, that's going to be a very bad penalizing moment. But you know, this happens to me a lot, especially after having my kids. I'll walk into the kitchen with something and then all of a sudden I draw a blank. Like, what am I here for? Or I'm just talking with a friend and suddenly I just cannot seem to place the name of the person or the movie or a character, and I'm just scratching my brain and I'm like, oh, I need some brain exercises. So I think a really good way to deal with this forgetfulness or absent-mindedness is exercising your brain.
Oh yes, that's a very good one.
Yeah, do you have some tips, Amber, on how we could
yes,
do that?
definitely. Because see, when you are out of, like when I went out of med school, I'll give you my example. I felt like for the longest time, and I was busy starting my training as a resident, as an intern, I started noticing that now that I have stopped reading, you know, my medical terminologies, my books, or whatever it may be, you know, journals, magazines. For a moment, I thought that, okay, I'm losing that momentum of able to grab stuff.
Ability to hold things in your memory, right?
Exactly. So when you're a student, you're constantly exercising your brain.
Yes.
You're constantly reading material, let it be history, you know, LA, or you're exercising math problems or medical, you know, knowledge. But when you're out of that zone, how do you exercise your brain?
Correct.
How do you do that? Well, one way to do that is, Poonam, is to keep on reading. You know, to keep on reading any information, whether it's current affairs in a newspaper, because a lot of time nowadays we are watching the news. We are not reading. So reading is very important. What do you think?
Yeah, and I was just talking to Jingle a couple of days back, is that apps and technology have completely taken over our senses, and that's the reason we're not able to retain stuff in the memory. Because back in the day, I used to do my math by my fingertips. You know, I would do my calculations in my mind. Now calculators and phones have taken over everything. There is a loss of using and stimulating your brain. For most of the chores. We have technology to help us, be it Siri or be it your Google phone, or you know, these numerous Alexa to the rescue. So I think the most important thing is to get back in touch with your senses. Some of the fun things me and her were talking of trying out, I was actually telling her, is when you wake up in the morning, try wearing your clothes blindfolded.
Really?
Close your eyes and try putting your accessories and just see how much your brain starts kicking in.
Oh my God, I've never tried that.
It's a fun tip, and I was just telling her that that would be something, or even do things with your non-dominant hand.
Okay.
Because like I'm a right-handed person, so I use my right hand to do almost everything. Now just imagine a day if you just switch your hands and try to do all of those things with your left hand.
That would be a challenge, right, Ringo?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I would be curious about is dressing up blindfolded.
I don't think I can do that, guys.
No, but I'm going to try it.
You could try, and it could be a fun exercise. It could
It'll
not
be
only
backwards, I
stimulate-
already know.
It could not only be stimulating for your brain, but it could be a fun start to your day.
Right.
You know. So small things like that, playing games with family that are strategy based, like you
Like
could
board
do
games?
board games.
Oh, yes.
Crosswords, puzzles. There used to be a game called Business where you have to strategize and think of your next move before your opponent does his move. So all of these things engage your brain a lot, and you will be surprised that humans only use 5% of their brain capacity.
Yes.
There is so much power within our brain that we can hold, and we're not even tapping the full potential. So there are a lot of fun things like that. Something simple like taking a walk early in the morning in your neighborhood just to recognize the different smells.
Like trying to explore our senses, right?
Exactly, trying to explore your senses, smell the grass, smell the flowers. You could even smell some people cooking on the way in your stroll and try to guess what must be cooking in their houses.
Maybe knock on the door, right?
Maybe invite yourself for a cup of coffee and maybe a snack or two. So these are some of the tips that I generally would like to try. Something you want to say, Jingle?
You know what's
would like to
baffled
try?
me is when I go visit mom and dad in India, there's a park that I go for a walk there at 6 in the morning, and there is a huge group of people just laughing. Just laughing. Until today, I don't know why, but now that Poonam got this topic going,
Okay.
I looked at a little bit into it, and it's your senses. You're laughing. I think it gets releases those other hormones, and it helps you feel better throughout the day.
Yes.
Maybe less depressed, maybe gives you energy to get going. I think that's a great skill.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I'm going to
laughter
implement that at home. I'm going to laugh like a crazy person.
You know, laughter is the best medicine,
Yes.
as they say. But one particular board game that I really love is Scrabble.
Scrabble.
Because you can never go wrong with Scrabble,
Yes.
because it gives you the power to build up those words.
Yes.
And you know, it gets the family together on the table and everybody is exercising their brain.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I think they touched upon some really good points. Laughter therapy has been therapeutically proven to increase your adrenaline and serotonin, which are the feel-good hormone levels. And then suddenly, after laughing, you feel good about yourself. So what's not there to like, right? And board games, you know, like she said, it brings the family together. It's a great time pass. It's a good interaction, a good way to interact with your family members, get everybody together in one room, and before you know, you're just chatting, laughing, bonding, and that's a perfect therapy.
That's a perfect therapy. So this is it for this week. We hope that you learned something, how to exercise your brain in the most positive way. Thank you, Poonam, for being here today. And Jingle, stay tuned and keep on watching us on our show. Hello everyone, welcome to my show. Today I have with me my guest, lovely Meenakshi Sharma. Meenakshi, how are you doing?
I'm doing so wonderful, gorgeous Amber. I
Thank-
just love to call you gorgeous Amber.
Oh, that's really sweet and kind of you,
And-
but
and-
you're gorgeous yourself.
The second word which I comes in my mind when I look at you is a positive Amber.
Thank you. I try to be positive most of the days in my life, but you haven't seen me on my negative days, Meenakshi. But anyway, so Meenakshi, what are we going to be discussing today? What is the topic?
The topic I would love to talk about is I am limitless.
I am limitless.
Yes.
Very in depth.
Yeah, very in depth, because we always take us granted, we cannot do this, and we frame ourselves, we put ourselves in a box. This is my life, this is me, this is who I should be called, and they limit themselves, they deficient themselves by calling themselves okay, and they tag themselves, okay, this is I'm it. No, you are beyond to that thing. You are beyond to that box. You are beyond that life, and you are a traveler, and you have been. It is going to talk about it today.
Beautiful, Meenakshi. So when we say I am limitless, means there should be no boundaries of expression of freedom, right? And there should be, and as a creative author and writer, like I've seen your articles, that's what you advocate many times.
Yes.
That how a person should be free to express.
Yes.
So is that what your philosophy is about, being limitless? Like, are those on the lines of that?
No, this is freedom of definitely expression is something different. This is, yes, freedom of expression is definitely different than we call or we tag ourselves. I'll give you one example. When I started doing blogging, when I started doing articles for a magazine, first the articles came for soul talk.
Okay.
I only spoke about soul lives, soul eternity, soul journeys. That was it. At certain point of time, people started calling me, okay, she always talk about spiritual things.
Oh, okay. And that's when you, I guess, started thinking that you need to expand your horizon. Am I?
Yes. If you are an author, if you are a human being, and if you are a creative person, you can write on anything.
Exactly.
And being a creative artist, like you have just, so nice of you that you always call me a creative artist. Creativity has no limitations.
That is so true. Thank you for telling our viewers that, because a lot of times people don't understand and ask me the same question, that Amber, how do you manage a TV show along with a cosmetic brand, and how do you go about, and you're so socially involved in the community as well. So how do you happen to balance it all? And I always tell them, any kind of creative expression, whether it is a charity cause, a social cause, or even selecting my colors for my brand, or bringing fine content to the television out there, and telling viewers about so many different aspects: health, nutrition, fitness, spirituality. Meenakshi, I always tell them that this is what creative expression is, because if you are not expressing yourself in a positive way, basically you're not alive.
Yes.
Am I not correct?
Yes, absolutely. Because see, you yourself is a creative person, so you will think, okay, so there are different parts of creativity. You can be author, you can be painter, you can be artist, you can be a social influencer. Basically, limitation or limitless is you are a beautiful creation of this universe, and you have to tap into yourself. That's always I always talk about it. I'll give you a recent example. At one point of time, I was very active on social media. People are very self-obsessed now, being, always on the social media, taking selfies.
I hope that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yes, it's a good thing. But somewhere they are putting themselves and they are showing the world, okay, we are happy, we are this and we are this. What about
I hope most of them are, actually, though.
Yes. So what about their true being self?
Yeah, because we don't know, like the pictures you portray on social media are always the true depiction of people's feelings.
Yes,
Isn't
absolutely.
that correct?
So see, this also I will say something else. For you, I know, Amber, like you love to, like you post on social media, that is your expression of your feelings.
Okay.
I'll tell you about myself. There was some point of time when I used to be on social media, I used to take validation from people.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is, if I post, there was a time when I got pregnant with my second baby. Before her, I was so much involved in social media, being a radio talk host, being...
Obviously, you are in the media personality, so of course you have to be.
Yeah, so as soon as I was progressing towards my pregnancy, when I was going to a 9 month, a separate type of anxiety was coming into my mind. What if my baby is born and what if I am not on the social media? People will forget me. That where I put myself in a box. I was taking validation from people. Okay, this is it. If Meenakshi is on social media, she's been seen, and social media was my limitation. No. If I'm a creative person, if I'm a limitless person,
then you don't need that validation.
You don't need that validation.
You need to have that inner peace in you.
Yes.
You need to find that inner satisfaction.
Yes.
And you can express it in so many ways, Meenakshi, right?
Yes, absolutely. And the second thing, there are different points. First of all, people are so stuck in their culture. They are so stuck from like the upbringing they are born in the family. They have cultural limitations, they have country limitations, they have after marriage limitations. Okay, this is it. I cannot do this, I cannot do this. First, you need to understand that you are limitless. As a soul, you are beyond all these things.
You need to feel free.
You need to feel free.
But see, Meenakshi, that's where sometimes I think there is a lot of time when people want to freely express themselves and the surrounding factors don't allow them.
Yes, absolutely.
You must have noticed that too. Like a lot of times, like even as a mom, there's so many things that you might want to do, but with a newborn baby, you're unable to do so,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Because that is that time in your life in which you have to pay attention to your child. A lot of women come up to me that, oh, so you have started this business and now you're establishing this business, and why did you not do it before? Because see, I guess there's a time in everybody's life where they need to sit back and understand what's important to them.
Yes.
And to be limitless, as you said, to free yourself and to be able to express, there's always the correct time. But that doesn't mean you can't do it at any age.
Yes.
You can do it at any age in any form, right?
Yeah. So the thing is limitation, when you start feeling that you have to feeling that you have to be a best version of yourself, but with a deep healing, the compassion and with the patience. You cannot be just go around and okay, I want this. There's always a certain time. And for your soul journey, there always been lessons that you will learn on time. There are certain tasks that you will do on time.
Thank you, Meenakshi. Thank you so much. So well said. And like Meenakshi said, the only person who puts restriction on you is you yourself. Yes. You need to free your mind, your body, and your soul in life. In order to achieve anything, you need to feel free and have that ability to freely express yourself. Don't be ever afraid to take any risks. Don't be afraid to soar high like the falcon. Thank you, Meenakshi Sharma. You're watching us on our show. Follow us and subscribe to our YouTube page, The Amber Dazzle Show. Thank you. It's yet another beautiful day on my sets, and I'm more than happy to have my two beautiful, lovely friends, Poonam.
Hi everybody, glad to be on the Amber Dazzle Show yet again.
And Jingle.
Thank you for having me on the Amber Dazzle Show.
Thank you guys for joining me. So Poonam, we were discussing a lot on the phone. We always talk about so many things, but today's topic is very close to my heart. And
And what is that?
Anger management.
Ooh, we are going to touch a lot of buttons and ruffle a lot of feathers with this one, right?
I know.
Yes.
So anger management is such an important factor. How does a person control and manage effectively? What do you think, Poonam?
So I would like to start off by this amazing quote by our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. And he said that anger and intolerance are the two biggest enemies of correct understanding. So what that means is it's a healthy emotion like any other emotion of love, hatred, positivity, negativity. Anger is also a healthy emotion till you let it flare and overpower you. When it spirals out of control, that's when it becomes an issue that needs management. So my take on this is that we need to identify the triggers. What is it that gets you all worked up? Like, what are some of your triggers, Amber?
Oh, you want me to say that on national television?
Sure, if we can help our audience, why not?
A lot of times is when I am talking to somebody and I'm in a deep conversation and things are not going according to my way, or maybe I feel like I'm disagreeing with that person. That's when I feel like I'm starting to lose my patience. And for that, I've come to a conclusion over these years is not to confront that person right away and to take a step back and agree to disagree.
Okay.
Correct?
So that's a great
tip. And and learn to accept the fact that not everybody is always going to be at your same page, at your same level of understanding. So you need to be tolerant, you need to be smart enough to breathe in slowly and listen to that other person carefully and understand that other person's vision. What do you think, Jingle? I mean, what is your take?
I agree with what you're saying. And my biggest challenge, what I face it today morning too. Let's not say with
We don't want to know what happened in the morning.
But I face it every day. I think it's about being judged always. That triggers my anger. I'm always feeling I'm being judged about every step I take, every decision I make. But nobody has the patience to sit and ask me why I made that decision. So that's a little bit frustrating, and then the anger comes out. And I'm glad that I've recognized this. So I just take a step back and I just think, that person is so crazy, Jingle. Let it go, let it go. I talk in my brain because I've figured it out.
Correct.
I figured out my trigger.
So, but you do agree that confrontation is never a healthy choice, right?
Oh, never. It only makes things worse.
Exactly.
It only makes things worse.
So I think a couple of things that we just hit upon here, what Amber was saying is that you will meet people with different wavelengths and different mindsets along your life. And the key to not having frictions is to be able to coexist in harmony, to understand the other person's shortcomings. Sometimes we think that they're doing it on purpose, but a lot of times they don't even have the mental wavelength or capacities to understand our point of view, or we don't have one to understand their perspective. So we need to be a little bit more accommodative of other people's mindset, and that was a really, really good point that you hit upon. And then what Jingle was talking about was the feeling of being wrongfully, incorrectly judged. People don't understand the purpose behind some of your actions, the intentions, and that probably sometimes does causes a lot of disappointment and frustration. For me, the trigger is unappreciation. The feeling that you just keep doing, you're just giving to everybody around you, be it family or any other relationships, even for corporates, you're working, and if there is no modus of appreciation in life, a person does tend to get angered, and then you start flaring up, and that's when things spiral out of control.
So it's a very well point taken, like Poonam mentioned, Jingle, is for everybody, for every individual out there, every trigger factor is different.
Yes.
And one person should need to realize what is their trigger.
Correct.
So for me, it would be a different trigger. For her, it would be different. And for her, it would be a totally different issue. But I still feel that we need to direct our anger on problems, not at people. Because a lot of time what happens is we are angry about something and we start blurting it out to the person we love the most.
Correct.
And it's really not fair on that friend or that husband or even that boyfriend and he's like, why are you projecting your anger at me?
And sometimes it's not even the right person.
Exactly.
The pitfalls of anger is that it always manifests at the wrong time, in front of the wrong person, in the most wrong channel and way possible. So I think the key to managing your anger, and I think Jingle will agree with me because I know she channelizes her anger into her workouts. The more angry she is, the more workout happens
Now
on that
we
day.
know.
Yes, 5:30 in the morning.
Correct. Oh my God. So all the pent up anger from the previous day and just in
you know,
anticipation.
I just tune out. A lot of my friends, Amber, are you even listening? I'm listening. I'm listening. You know, that is also one good way.
Yes, just ignore and move on. And I think channelizing your energies, be it positive or negative,
More positive.
in the right positive way towards workout. You can even take help of meditation. Try to distract yourself with something that offsets that feeling of disappointment and resentment. And I think there you have that key to master your anger, the episodes of your anger blurs. Right,
And you know,
Amber?
table talk works a lot. Sit down with that person, and take that time out to go over the issues. You can always correct those problems and resolve them successfully. Don't have to be angry. Keep smiling. And like we discussed in the last segment, laughter is the best medicine, right, guys?
And hang out with your friends who don't create drama.
Okay, that's a good one
so
too.
we would be good company to have, right?
Right.
If you're angry, just come and talk to us.
Hang out with us on the sets of Amber Dazzle.
Have a cup of cappuccino with Amber.
And then I want to touch on the point as Poonam said about appreciation. You know what I've learned in all these years is appreciate yourself.
Yes.
Don't
Beautiful.
wait for others to appreciate you. They will, and if they don't, it's okay. You know inside your heart what you're doing, where you're putting your energy, be it your kids, your work. Appreciate yourself. And the way I appreciate myself is go shopping.
Awesome. Retail therapy to the rescue,
Retail therapy.
right? And a lot of times, like she said, what comes really handy to me is recognizing the fact that every moment is just a passing phase.
Yes.
So like everything else, this feeling too shall pass. And with that, we have the hope of a better future, a better evening, a better tomorrow, and you just cling on to that hope.
Perfect. So love yourself. That is the message. Do not get angry on small things in life. Life is full of struggles. Everybody goes through that phase. Learn to tackle it intelligently, and you can conquer your anger without any problem.
Hey, what was that quote about the 60 seconds thing? I really like that. That every minute that you're angry, you're losing 60 seconds of
Peace of your mind.
peace of your mind.
So well
there you go.
spoken. So it's never healthy to be angry, Poonam. Never healthy to be angry, Jingle. For anybody out there watching us today, I hope you guys learned something. I'm your host, Amber. Keep on watching me and tune in to our show. Thank you, Poonam, and thank you, Jingle, for being here today.
And always remember, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile, so keep smiling.
The preceding was paid program paid by Amber Dazzle. Promotional consideration is paid by following advertisers.